Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So thank you for joining us today. It gives us a huge energy boost to see an audience turn out in this numbers, and especially when the notice is this short. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for giving us your time. And I hope that this session that we have planned exclusively for you guys turns out to be valuable. So I'll give you a brief. So first of all, if you have mobile phones and all, please put it on silent so that we are not disturbed between. I'll give you guys time to do that. Just ensure that your phones are on silent throughout the session. Our total duration that we would like your commitment is for around an hour. I think you would have been informed before. So there are two panels that are decided. One is like the future of tech careers, and the next is navigating job searches. So we have mentors and our founder here who would be navigating you throughout the entire these two panels. So after each panel, we'll quickly do a AMA from the entire crowd, and in that duration, you can ask your questions. The questions that you are planning to ask, just ensure that after that panel, you like ask questions surrounding that, because the questions, most of the questions that people ask generally are covered in the next panel as well. So similarly, we have a mic which will be circulated for whenever you guys have questions in between. So 20 minutes panel, then we'll have around 5 to 10 minutes for a questionnaire from your side, then another panel for 20 minutes, then a questionnaire, and then you can break, then we can break and you guys can network with the founder and the mentors that have joined us today. So without taking much of your time and like diving straight to the thing that we are here for, I would like to first introduce you all the mentors who are here with us. So first and foremost, we have Mr. Sandeep Jain, who is a founder and CEO of GeeksforGeeks. This is all that he has created, and we are here. Then we have Shikhar, who is currently working at Vitra. He's also a mentor here. He takes the badge the MERN badge. So after that, if you have any query regarding that, we can connect. You guys can network with him to build a connection. Then we have Abhishek, who is currently working in Microsoft. Then we have Chiranjeev, who is currently working at JustPay. And we have influencer Mr. today, Harshit Jain. So the purpose also is to keep a mix. We have mentors and an influencer, because being a lot of working professional, you also would have some doubts like how to do some passive earning along your stable jobs and how to network with that. So Harshit would be a perfect person here to help you out in that. So yeah, let's begin with the panel and just do it.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, many thanks for coming on a weekend. And those who are watching live, thanks to those guys also who are watching this on weekend and spending time with us. So this is my third day in Bengaluru, and I have totally enjoyed everything here. I like the community culture here, really like the startup culture here. Everywhere when you walk around the road, you have some startup boards everywhere, and that is something I super like about this place. And I'm going to stay here more. So I would like every panelist first to tell more about himself and tell the technology that they have been working upon, or the technology they have expertise in, so that we everybody gets a better sense, and later they can ask questions around. So I'll begin with Harshit. Harshit, you can introduce yourself. Although Neera will introduce, but you can tell us about the tech that you've been working.
So, hey everyone, I'm Harshit. I currently work at Intuit as an FT3, where I lead a capability team. I majorly lead the front-end side of things at Intuit, and I have a total experience of close to 10 years now, and I've worked in multiple product-based companies, again, mostly focusing on the front-end side of things, but as you know, like you can't just be focused on front-end, so a little bit of back-end, but mostly front-end.
Hi everyone, my name is myself Chiranjeev Nayak, and I'm working in JustPay right now, and I have worked on one stack basically, and focused on backend only, and not like slightly on front end also, but expertise in backend in JavaScript, and apart from the Munstack, I have expertise in cloud, also in using AWS also. In AWS there are many services, like we are using RDS or EC2 instance, and there are a lot of services as well, like Lambda and all that. So yes, these are the tech we are using in day-to-day life.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Abhishek Tripathi, and I have a total around like I will complete 7 years very soon in tech industry. Okay, what technologies I am working on? It is a very typical question people ask. See, when technology, I don't know, it matters and all. It comes and go over the period of time. Okay, someday you will heard of AWS, someday Azure, someday GCP, whatever. So whatever the technology they will ask me, I will work upon that. I learn, I work upon that. Okay. So if you ask me like what are kind of languages you code for the interview, I code in Java and C++. Other than that, I can code in many languages. So yeah, that's it about me. Rest I can talk to you like more in the upcoming discussions. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So hey everyone, I'm Shikhar, and currently I have like 2.5 years of experience all around in software development. But if you count internships, I have been working from my first year of college. I've been doing freelancing and other stuff, right? And my journey started as a front-end developer, just like most of you guys. But then I ventured around in backend, and then I quickly started learning Flutter, which was a mobile app development technology, right? And currently, when I started this job, I decided I won't want to go to a company where that will be more of service based or product based. What I really wanted to do was work on impactful projects. So I started with Incus Technology. I worked there for 1.5 years, and what we built was a 3D construction management platform. Basically, we had a device where you can scan this entire room, and we will convert a 3D model out of it using our own algorithms. So most of my part was actually making the software around it and making our own 3D viewer where you can actually measure each and every part of the room. So that was the first thing that I did. I used React there and quickly started using Flutter app to develop the mobile side of it. And then currently I'm working on Vitra. We are tackling the problem around language translation. So with the dawn of ChatGPT and other stuff, I think language translation are some of the problems which can be solved really easily. So what we're trying to do is incorporate language translation as a tool, so you won't need translators at all, right? And one of our new project is basically enabling real-time translations, which you might have already seen in Galaxy S4, I guess. Yeah, the newest Galaxy phones, they are doing real-time call translation. That is something that we are also trying to do. So these are some of the projects that I've worked on. But overall, I know mobile development, app development, and basically development in general. So I'm a full stack developer. Thank you.
So I kind of feel nervous here because there are all tech people. I am more into management, and I keep hearing these words from CTO and the tech team, but I've not been doing personally any development. Although I was a software developer, but that was long back. I was working on Perl and Sybase, and after that I've written a lot of tech articles, but not doing software development as of now. So my first question is, for Harshit, you. These days, and in general, tech changes very fast, and it is always said, if you are in tech, you need to be prepared for the changes, and you need to keep yourself upskilling, you need to keep following what is happening in the tech industry. So you have 10 years of experience. According to you, what should be the ideal career path, or what should be the promising career path in the next decade that people should be prepared for?
I think you started with the toughest question, predicting the future. So, I mean, as you know, Abhishek also mentioned, talking about technologies, right? That is very hard. That hey, what would be the future of a technology? So I'll probably, take it a level above it, and we'll start with the very fundamentals. As to when I started my career 10 years ago, at that point in time, one of the major shifts that was happening was we were having these mainframes like to store data, and today, as you know, everything is moving to cloud. And I think I will say like close to 90% of every company is today using cloud. So that is a major shift that has happened in last 10 years. So how do you even deploy your applications? Where do you actually store the data, right? That is a fundamental change that has happened over the last 10 years. Now, whether we are using AWS or we are using GCP, like those could come and go, right? But the fundamental thing would be that we are storing the data on cloud, and right now we don't see any other way to do that. So something that I see, going 10 years later as well, that cloud will be there. How we'll be doing it, which companies, framework or what we'll be using, that could be changing, but cloud is gonna be one of the things. But then you also see that, again, I'll just compare with my example. 10 years back, the mobile phones that we had, that were very basic. And I think most of us did not even have like mobile data connection, or if it was there, it was like super costly. If people don't know, it was like 250 rupees for 1 GB of internet. So from that time to today, when all the apps that you have in your phone today, those run because like you are able to use it because you have unlimited kind of an internet with you. Ola, Uber, Swiggy, everything that you have access to internet. And that is where I think some kind of mobile technologies will be going forward, will be the future. Because today, as we are trained, we cannot live without mobile. So mobile technologies are gonna be there. And when we say about mobile and cloud, one thing that we are actually doing is we are creating a lot of data. When we are creating a lot of data, the data field, the data science field, that also comes into the picture. And when you have all that, then comes the next move, the AI, the LLMs that have stuck us out of nowhere. So I think if I have to categorize it like cloud, mobile, data, and AI, I will say these are the 4 areas where we should be focusing if you are building a career in next 10 years. And the technologies will come and go. So just start with one technology and then just learn on the job, as Abhishek also mentioned. Whatever technology you get, you just keep on switching to that.
Any other panelists want to add anything or want to add opinion about future technology? Or you want to add anything?
So, I mean, it's really hard to predict what kind of jobs are going to emerge. Like, as you mentioned, with the dawn of LLMs, one thing that we see clearly is if you can use AI to your advantage, you will definitely have a job, right? And one of the fields that are emerging up is basically prompt engineering, where you tell the AI what to do and it just follows your instruction. And I'm telling you honestly, based on personal experience, it's really hard. AI is like a dumb kid where you have to really tell it each and everything, and then only it does it, right? So prompt engineering is going to be one of the biggest fields out there. You have to be really skilled at like telling AI what to do. Generally, in any other field, if you can use AI to your advantage, that is your go-to thing. Because all the monotonous jobs which involves repetitive work, they are going to die. In our software field also, I think the base the base software engineering level where the freshers comes in, their job is going to change a lot because right now what we do is freshers do the job of writing the monotonous code. For example, if I start a new project, there are things like authentication and some other stuff, upload this and that. All that can be written by anyone, right? You don't need creativity to write that. You just need experience. Those kind of jobs will die. And as a fresher, your job might be more of thinking about how to, design the software, design the product, and just let the AI do its thing, write the code for you, maybe. So the same thing will happen for other fields. Like we are working on some kind of a video processing software. So you can just write the storyline out and it will create the entire AI video for you. I think OpenAI has done that with Sora, where you can just give a cat walking in a very good environment and it creates the entire video for you. So your job will be mostly kind of a storyteller. If you can do that properly, maybe you can use AI to your advantage and you can survive in this industry, maybe mostly.
Yeah, like one more probable point I want to add. It's like I think so in India you do not find this. Only one company is doing. I forget the name. Robotics. So like the human being is meant for doing the something innovative, okay, and we are not meant for doing the redundant job. So if you are doing the redundant job, ask yourself, you are not an engineer, or you are not utilizing your time effectively. Like let's say if you are sitting in a company doing some job like could be a manual job, correct? You write a code for it, either as shell script, you write it, or you do something, correct? It's a kind of automation. The people call it a automation. Now, what the robots do? Robots exactly do the same thing which you automate, correct? Like if you tell them the instructions of doing this, they'll do this in this manner, correct? Like there are a lot many companies came up with the different types of robots. So I definitely pretty much sure like robotics is the something where we have a quite a great future ahead, and there will be a lot of job replacements. Like think of in a Bangalore, like even nowadays people are not asking for the maid for the like at least for the cleaning of the floors, correct? You have there is a Zumba or Roomba, whatever it call it. I'm not pretty much sure about it. Okay, so yeah, robotics is one thing which you need to keep an eye on. Like if and robotics is nothing like it's not a fancy, correct? Like hardware and the hardware is something which sounds fascinating to you, correct? Like whenever you see the robots, but what does not seems to you fascinating, like what the code written behind. The code is not, it's a simple C++ language, or it will be a set of process. For me, the logical ability will not replace anything. Okay, so make sure you have a keep on the robotics. Yeah.
So from my experience, I'm saying that as all mentioned that we have like a very good future if you know that prompt engineer or LLM model about this. So to add this, I would like to say that if you like in future, if you like know how to handle data, or you can say like right now companies are collecting a huge data, and to analyze the data they're using a lot of tools, and after that they have to take the decision, the data which have like already trained those data. After train those data, they have to take decision for their business. So I will say the data engineering one is the one of the field, or one of the job which can like secure your job in future. And one more thing, okay, right now we are all use digital products, like we are using UPI, you are using like Google Pay or Phone Pay, and even all these datas are like have to be secure because they are consist of PI data. PI means personal identification information. That means these are the very these are the data which are very sensitive data. It shouldn't be like leak in the organization or in the company. So for those for this industry, like type of transitions are going on. So for those industries, cyber security job role is one of the, like I will say, in future that will be in demand. And another is freelancing. So freelancing is something like you have to acquire knowledge, you have to like show your skills, and to showcase your skills, you have to do some good project, and you have to host that project. Okay, you have done some project on web development, let's say, or you have done some project on, let's say you are using some JNA, and using JNA you have made a chatbot called travel agency, and that will solve your like problems, like in Bengaluru, what are the top 5 places you need to visit. So these are the things you will like the chatbot will go. Okay, these are the top 5 places. Let's say Bengaluru Palace and XYZ, and the stay and whatever the food, what is the food is good. You will also the chatbot will also mention. So for those, I will say, okay, these are the projects you should have in your hand to showcase your skills. Okay, so if you have good knowledge, and if you like have good soft skills also, then the freelancing will be the most promising job in the future era. Thank you.
So I agree all the points. I just add my point of view also from the business perspective. The cloud thing that Harshit mentioned, the kind of money Amazon made out of AWS, now all the big tech giants, they are fighting to enter into that field. And there is going to be a lot of development here. Google, Oracle, Microsoft, they all have their own products about cloud, and they are pushing those products very hard. So this is definitely going to be something where, and with AI, ML, data science growing, the data amount of data is also increased everywhere, social media. So this data process, this to process the data, to build intelligence out of it, you would need data engineering, data analysis, data science, and all those things. And and with AI, with ChatGPT success, a lot of money is flowing in, AI startups. And as you know, everybody says these days, if your startup is about AI, use the AI word, you get investment easily. So that's the market these days. That's the scenario these days, right? So a lot of money, even not only startups, all the big tech companies, they want to be the leader in the upcoming AI era, right? They all want to build their products first, make people more habitual about their products. So there's a lot of fight in the business going about AI also. So, and one more thing about the robotics that he mentioned, with ChatGPT or OpenAI, what happened was these APIs become available. You can use them, you can consume them. So with these things happening, the kind of growth that robotics didn't see in the past, I mean, it's going to grow really fast because you have the hardware, you don't have to build the software, you can use the APIs. So I guess these are the really good areas. But having said that, it doesn't mean that whatever jobs we have currently, they will go away suddenly. I mean, the jobs that Java development, the front end development, the back end development, I mean, these things are still going to be there for a long, long time. Even if they go away, it will take a long, long time. I mean, and I don't think they will ever go away because you always need domain specific knowledge, business specific knowledge for any product, even if the front end code, the back end code can be generated using AI. All right, so my next question is, I'll again begin with you, Harshit. We'll go the same sequence every time. So I already mentioned in the beginning that it's very, very important to upskill yourself time to time and plays a very, very important role for anybody's career who is in tech, much required. So I would like you guys to tell more about it. How do we upskill and how important it is, first of all, and how do we do it? What are the ways and how you guys did it? Maybe your examples would help people.
So about this, again, I'll go to the very fundamental level and think, if you go back to your school days, in schools, what you had, it was a very specific curriculum, right? You have your intense standard, these are the subjects, these are the books, study them, give exams, done. When you went to college, again, similar pattern. You have your courses, your semester goes for 6 months, you study, done. And then you suddenly enter the corporate world, right? Where there is no syllabus. You are an engineer, right? You are responsible for building the feature and taking it to the production. So there is no fixed curriculum. There is no one technology that, hey, if you know this technology, that is enough. Or even I'll say, if you know this much of this technology, it's enough, right? So that is one of the major shift that happens as soon as you enter the corporate world. So that is one part to it. And another part to it is that we are say it like fortunately or unfortunately, we are in a world which is like rapidly evolving.
Sir, just one more request. Can I join a week later? It's just that I owe myself a break.
Sure, that can be arranged. We'll share the offer letter shortly.
Thank you so much, sir. I know. जब इंडस्ट्री का ऐसा हाल हो तो इतनी डिमांड्स नहीं करनी चाहिए. बट क्या करें यार, Geeks for Geeks जॉब फेयर हैज स्पॉइल्ड मी. ना तो मुझे अलग अलग जॉब प्लेटफॉर्म्स पर अप्लाई करना है और ना ही रिक्रूटर्स को ढूंढना. With multiple technical roles sourced directly from high-intent recruiters, Geeks for Geeks has made it pretty easy for me. अब जब Geeks for Geeks इतना सोच रहा है, तो मैंने सोचा मैं भी थोड़ा सोच लूँ अपने लिए. चलिए, मैं तो निकलता हूँ ट्रिप पर. बाकी Geeks for Geeks जॉब फेयर चलेगा अभी मार्च तक, तो क्यों ना आप भी थोड़ा सोच लो अपने लिए. Sir, just one more request. Can I join a week later? It's just that I owe myself a break.
Sure, that can be arranged. We'll share the offer letter shortly.
Thank you so much, sir. I know. जब इंडस्ट्री का ऐसा हाल हो तो इतनी डिमांड्स नहीं करनी चाहिए. बट क्या करें यार, Geeks for Geeks job fair has spoiled.
Able to finish them, to be honest.
Hi.
But at least
This new year, we got a very special message for us. The message says, thanks GeeksforGeeks team for this amazing course. Just cracked government exam with AIR 2 and got call for document verification. Excited for GATE 2024. This 2024 year has started well for me. These are the words of one of our students enrolled in GATE computer science course, and trust me, this not only motivate other students but us teachers as well to put in that extra effort. First of all, many congratulations Ishan. If you too are a GATE computer science 2025 aspirant, I invite you to check out our GATE CS course. Till then, keep learning. Hi, this new year we got a very special message for us. The message says, thanks Geeks4Geeks team for this amazing course. Just cracked government exam with AIR2 and got call for document verification. Excited for GATE 2024. This 2024 year has started well for me. These are the words of one of our students enrolled in GATE computer science course, and trust me, this not only motivate other students but us teachers as well to put in that extra effort. First of all, many congratulations Ishan. If you too are a GATE computer science 2025 aspirant, I invite you to check out our GATE CS course. Till then, keep learning. Hi, this new year we got a very special message for us. The message says, thanks Geeks4Geeks team for this amazing course. Just cracked government exam with AIR2 and got call for document verification. Excited for GATE 2024. This 2024 year has started well for me. These are the words of one of our students enrolled in GATE computer science course, and trust me, this not only motivate other students but us teachers as well to put in that extra effort. First of all, many congratulations Ishan. If you too are a GATE computer science 2025 aspirant, I invite you to check out our GATE CS course. Till then, keep learning. Hi, this new year we got a very special message for us. The message says, thanks Geeks4Geeks team for this amazing course. Just cracked government exam with AIR2 and got call for document verification. Excited for GATE 2024. This 2024 year has started well for me. These are the words of one of our students enrolled in GATE computer science course, and trust me, this not only motivate other students but us teachers as well to put in that extra effort. First of all, many congratulations Ishan. If you too are a GATE computer science 2025 aspirant, I invite you to check out our GATE CS course. Till then, keep learning.
When facing an exam like GATE, the stakes are really high. Tough competition, limited opportunities, and lots of hope riding on your shoulders. Geeks4Geeks understands the pressure. And to ensure that you have the best support system to crack GATE CSE 2025, we have launched our latest batch taught by our GATE mentors with more than a decade of teaching experience and multiple GATE top rankers as their students. We know that you got it in you to crack GATE exam. Now all you got to do is commit to learning, commit with Geeks4Geeks. When facing an exam like GATE, the stakes are really high. Tough competition, limited opportunities, and lots of hope riding on your shoulders. Geeks4Geeks understands the pressure. And to ensure that you have the best support system to crack GATE CSE 2025, we have launched our latest batch taught by our GATE mentors with more than a decade of teaching experience and multiple GATE top rankers as their students. We know that you got it in you to crack GATE exam. Now all you got to do is commit to learning, commit with Geeks4Geeks. When facing an exam like GATE, the stakes are really high. Tough competition, limited opportunities, and lots of hope riding on your shoulders. Geeks4Geeks understands the pressure. And to ensure that you have the best support system to crack GATE CSE 2025, we have launched our latest batch taught by our GATE mentors with more than a decade of teaching experience and multiple GATE top rankers as their students. We know that you got it in you to crack GATE exam. Now all you got to do is commit to learning, commit with Geeks4Geeks. शुरू हो गया है गेट प्रिपरेशन का बेस्ट टाइम। अगर आप गेट CS 2025 के एस्पिरेंट हो तो शुरू करिए अपनी प्रिपरेशन विद Geeks4Geeks, इंडियाज मोस्ट ट्रस्टेड कोडिंग प्लेटफॉर्म।
Like Domino's pizza, if you eat with your friends with a beer, it will require almost 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours, correct? Like easy. 5 hours is a Udemy course time also, but it's boring. That's it.
So yeah, continuous learning is most important thing in the corporate, or you can say in the tech era. Even in other fields, if you're in business or if you're in like accounting and any any field, continuous knowledge, continuous acquiring knowledge is most important thing. Because if you see, like if you go like 10 years ago, there is a very like in web development, PHP is a very demand in that time. But after the like times flies, and now you can see PHP demand is like not as much in like in 10 years ago. So right now Java full stack and Mun stack, you can say like there are different languages also in job market right now, like Go, Rust. So these are the languages in job market. They are highly like demanding right now. So according to the times, you can see like from 10 years ago, PHP is only one demand. At that time, no more, no like Rust, no Go at that time. But right now, the times changes. Like the challenge, it's like this type of changes, you have to adapt. Like if you see the job market, there are a lot of hiring right now. Okay, now how you will decide? Go to the Indeed, or you can go to the Naukri.com. As Harshit mentioned, you can go to the LinkedIn job portals as well. Like there you can see in month how many job openings are there. In let's say in prompt engineer, how many job openings are there. So basically, I want to say that you have to continuously acquire knowledge, and not only acquire knowledge, put some showcase your skills, like whatever you learn. Let's say you today you learn Go. So Go, if you learn Go or if you learn Rust, then do some project using Rust or using Go lang. And after that, okay, now after learning, what you will do. So as you see that you have learned like you feel that okay, I am right now, I'm okay, right now I've learned a lot thing. Now check yourself, apply those jobs according to your experience. Like if you have 2.5 year of experience or 3 year of experience, go for the mid senior level position, or go for the two year, where they ask for 1+ year of experience or 2+ year of experience. Apply there and give interview. Now there is if you crack the interview, that means okay, you have like okay, now again there is a DSA round, and there may be a system design round, or may if you have experience, then there's some coding round as well. So maybe we have not so much asked questions on the Go, but okay, you have cracked, then that's good. You don't cracked, and you see some, you have faced some questions where in the Go land, and you're not able to not able to answer those questions. Then go back and learn again. So like this, you have to continuously acquiring knowledge to be like future proofing, and to be your in the tech, you have to be the future will be to save. You have to learn not, I will not say a lot of technology, I will say that those who are like high demanding right now. And yes, and also if you see coming to the adaptability is he mentioned that adaptability is the key. So yeah, I agree, totally agreed on that, that you have to be adapt like how the technology emerging right now, you have to adapt those things for a better future as well. And yes, that's
So one point I really liked about this conversation was the job portal thing. And if you really want to understand where the market is going and what technologies I want to learn, go to all the job portals and look at all the vacancies available there, and you will get a very, very good idea. And so apply the required filters and required experience, and you will get a very fair idea where the things are going, right? I mean, and GeeksforGeeks also has a job portal. You can, we recently started, you can try there. And GeeksforGeeks has courses also. Those are also not very costly, right? And there are not many, like Udemy, you don't find tens or hundreds of courses on the same topic. There's one course on every topic where we completely focus upon. So my next question is, there have been a lot of technological shifts in the industry over the time, and there are technologies which disrupted things, right? For example, cloud, when it came in, every company had, or every even the government organizations, they had their own infrastructure, their own networks that disrupted everything. And now this is all on cloud. And then AI came in recently, that again disrupted. So I would like you guys to tell us more about the technology that you feel created a significant impact on your career, and with some examples. That would be the question.
Okay, so I can probably take an example of the web development world. So, I mean, probably a decade back, most of the applications that we were developing were in plain vanilla JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and like then came the jQuery, and again, working with jQuery was a little bit easier, but still not a piece of cake. And then on top of that, we had, if anybody has used Internet Explorer, and especially Internet Explorer 6, the bugs that you used to get in Internet Explorer 6, like there will be days when you are just fixing Internet Explorer bugs. Like you would have built the features, and then you get into the testing mode, and then all the bugs that you get are just Internet Explorer specific. So I think the browsers over time has also matured a lot. Now I think we don't even care about Internet Explorer. We care about Edge, which is also Chromium based. But with that also the modern frameworks that have gotten in, like React, Angular, Vue, what they have done is that now they have abstracted a lot of that crude things that we had to do before, which is resulting into a very fast software development. If I compare to a basic website that I had to build 10 years back, it would take a lot more time back then, compare it to today. And even if I have to just build a basic website, right? I don't even need to code today. There are like website builders just out there, right? I'm talking about complex web apps. So even for complex web app, it is like fairly simple today. If you compare it to 10 years, 10 years back, where it was very difficult to, just do some state management or just re-render something, right? As basic as those things, those were super, super complicated. So yeah, that would be.
Yeah, so I completely agree with you again. So as I said before, building Facebook 10, 20 years back was a huge challenge. But you can build it 20 years back Facebook. Today you can build it in a week. You can even get a YouTube tutorial where they will actually make the entire thing in front of you in like 6 hours course, right? So that has all been there because of the continuous advancement in technologies. Front-end development has become very accessible, very easy. You guys can just get the knowledge for free from YouTube, right? Or even read a Geeks for Geeks blog. It's all there. With the new technologies, I guess robotics and AI has been one of the major fields which have completely disrupted the industry, especially AI. We have got transformers, LLMs, basically ChatGPT, like last 1.5 year, and just after it came back, all the products have now adapted it. There is not a single product. If you guys have used Canva to design posters, you can see there's Magic Write tool available. If you have used Notion, Magic Write tool available. It's like you just write a single paragraph and it can give you the entire story. I designed my courses using this Magic Write. I just gave it headlines that this is what I want to teach today. And it tells me the entire script. This is how you have to teach it. And this is what you have to highlight upon, right? So it has been such a game changer. And I was just looking at an interview of Sam Altman. He said that GPT-4, the most advanced LLM right now, it is the dumbest model that you'll ever have to use after GPT-5 comes into the picture, right? So I guess that has been the most advanced thing, and I think this is going to change the way you make products now. I mean, previously there used to be a lot of things. There was a whole process where you go through the Scrum, this and that. But with GPT coming in, I think our roles will be more of a guy who's responsible for your job, not actually doing the job. You will be more of a managerial person. I mean, that's still way far ahead. It's gonna take another decade maybe for GPT to enter our tech field completely. But you can say that there can be a job which you want to be done. You can just ask GPT; it will do it for you. But it's your responsibility to make sure that it's gonna work each and every time, right? So that is something that we have never looked into. We have always been responsible for what all we do. Now we have to be responsible for some others' work, and that is, I think that in itself is a skill that you have to learn, basically.
If I'm not wrong, the question is like which technology given the boost to my career.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. So for me, like since starting, I'm working on the cloud technologies. It does not mean like I'm working on the AWS, Azure, and all. I'm building the cloud technology since starting of my career. So I started with one of the startups, and they asked me to develop something like so there is a three terms which you eventually listen whenever it calls the cloud technology: SaaS, IaaS, and the PaaS. SaaS is a software as a service, infrastructure as a service. Example of SaaS is like all the apps what you use in your mobile phones. Then infrastructure as a service, like there is like few OKE, Oracle Kubernetes and Engine is the one. Like because I worked upon that, that's why I'm taking the example of that. And the last one is PaaS, the platform as a service. Like the example of the platform as a service, I think so. OKE and the OKE is again an example of the PaaS. I don't know like what is the clear distinction between the IaaS and the PaaS. Okay. So what I feel so like still these three services which I'm talking about will like given a boost to my career. Like because whenever someone asks me like what you worked upon, I say rather than saying like I have backend technology or something, I will say like I worked upon this SaaS as a product. It's like okay, come on the Slack. Okay, so Slack is something like a Salesforce tool in a SaaS, correct? So then you become a familiarity with even the Microsoft Teams is a SaaS, Zoom is a SaaS product, all these things. So whenever it comes to the interview or something, like you need to be very clear about or the technology mentioning. Please mention those kind of words. So I worked upon SaaS, IaaS, and the PaaS, like these three, which given a boost to my career, and I'm thankful and like hope so like this will continue in future. Yeah.
Thank you, Abhishek. And one thing about Abhishek is the way he talks. This is a lot of passion. I mean, he tries to help audience by just saying the suggestion about SES and the word. I mean, really liked it. Chiranjeev.
So in my career, I will take example of web development. And in web development, if you see previously we are using, let's say, making a front end project, let's say making any website. Okay, so previously we are using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And to make a simple header and footer, we have to write a lot of codes in HTML. Then for design, we use JavaScript, and for give some actions like in the website, we use JavaScript. So right now, we don't need to we don't need to write a lot of code for these things. We just there are a lot of libraries like React and framework like Angular, Vue.js, and Next.js are in the right now, where they will just you have to write 2-3 lines of command, then they will create a simple basic project, or you can say template of your website, which will which will you can edit, and then you can improve, or you can add feature whatever you want to. You can play around with your website. So one thing I will say, this in front end React and Angular are the most help me to grow in my career. And also in cloud, if you see previously we have we have a headache to maintain the machines. There are a lot of cost companies or organizations are putting to maintain the machines, physical machines. Now the all organization are they all are shifting to the cloud services. Why? Because AWS and GCP, they give us, they promise us, they give the availability of 99.99%. Point after point, if you have 4 nines or 5 nines, that means the availability is more. If you see, I'm not sure for GCP, I think 99.999, and AWS is 99.99999. So I'm not sure about that, but yeah, these cloud services are are right now helping in my career, where it's boost my career, I will say, because you don't need to what you need to think about the physical machines. Cloud service will take care of that. You just need to focus on your architect. You just need to focus on your system design, where you have to again, this is a trade-off in software engineering. You have to, if you see focus on the scalability, then you have to focus on the cost as well. Okay, right now you are horizontally scale of your pods. Okay, now the cost will be high also. For that, we have to manage, or you have to balance these two things: your availability, your scalability, and your cost. these are the I'll say two sides of cloud. And yes, I will say this web development in the front end and in the cloud, this helped me to boost my career. Thank you.
So I'll also add an example here. Cloud would be my example. When I was doing GeeksforGeeks initially, I was doing it the part-time activity with my job on a weekend on weekends, right? So what happened was cloud was not very popular those days. It's the time of 2010, 11, right? So AWS was very, very new, and I was using a local web server. And what happened was it was managed service. They were managing everything for us, and I was the only one. There was no full-time employee apart from me on Geeks. Even I was not full-time. So what happened one day was somebody hacked the DNS of Geeks4Geeks, and when somebody was opening the URL, there was an ad coming up. And I was taking classes in the college where I was teaching, and I came after the class. I saw a lot of emails. It's not opening up, and I called that guy, the person who was managing the local person who was managing our servers, and he was like, somebody has hacked your DNS, and the cache expiration takes some time, so you need to wait. So I waited for the expiration time, and after that I again called him. That's not even opening up, and after that he stopped picking up my call, and I was like clueless what to do, and I had to learn everything, and that is when I got to know about AWS Cloud. And there were not many tutorials. I learned about it, shifted everything to Amazon AWS, and from that moment, we have not seen any challenge like this. I mean, things have been working really nice. Even when it was with the local vendor, I mean, the servers there were a lot of server issues as well. So cloud completely changed. I mean, things evolved for me. Now, coming to the next question. Now we all talk about tech in the software development, the importance of it, and the interview questions are also around that. What is the importance of soft skills, and how somebody in the industry, right? When you work in a company, what are the soft skills which are required, and how do you get those required skills?
So again, going back to fundamentals and first principles, like for every nerd like us, right? The ideal world would be that we just work on a laptop. We don't have to talk to anybody else. Just code and done. Salary aa jana chahiye, credit ho jana chahiye, done. That is what would be the ideal thing. And like actually that has been the trend since you reach corporate, right? In schools and colleges, you just study and you play that individual game. You have to just attend lectures, you give exams. It's like an individual exam. You either pass or fail. Doesn't matter कि पड़ोसी fail हुआ है नहीं हुआ, right? पड़ोसी pass हुआ नहीं हुआ, doesn't matter. But it's individual game. But when you enter a corporate world, and especially the software world, right? It becomes a team game. You can't even say that hey, ये तो backend का issue था, I'm a front end engineer. No. If the application fails, right, it's the whole team that fails. And that is where this soft skill comes into the picture, that you have to collaborate. It might be at different levels. There will be different kind of collaborations. Maybe at the starting, you'll be collaborating with just your manager or just your tech lead, right? But then as you grow, you'll see that you'll be communicating with cross-functional people. You'll be talking to the UX designer, product manager, sales team, marketing team. You'll be talking to different people. And when you're talking to people of different domains, you need to modify your words. You need to kind of change them according to the way that they can understand. So as a software developer, it's a very cross-cutting thing, and that is where it becomes very important that soft skills are like, I mean, after a point you'll be feeling like, hey, coding to main kar lunga, but then what do we do about the soft skills? So that is where it becomes very important, and you need to really work on your soft skills. How do you actually gel with people, work with people? And I'll just take one simple example. Let's say you are reviewing somebody's code, right? And you see something as like some mistake, and you write a comment. Hey, why is this being done like this? Or why did you do this? Instead of that, why did you, if you just change it to why are we doing it like this? So from you, we change it to we. So just a simple from you to we, it kind of changes that whole tone of that message, right? That hey, as a team, why are we doing this? Can we do something else? So those are the kind of a lot of small things that you will learn after joining the corporate. And one thing I do is at all the companies that I've worked with, I mostly had one kind of a role model there, that hey, some years down the line, I see myself being in his place. I see myself doing things, operating like he's operating today. And that has actually helped me. I kind of start emulating the behavior that they do, like how they operate, how they work in day-to-day life. And that's how I think that has worked with me. Learning all these soft skills, how to collaborate and all.
Thanks, Harshit. Shikhar. So yeah, completely agree again. So having soft skills is really, really important, and I have personally, faced this. So you can be like, I had one of my friends. He is like literal tech genius. Like I used to go to him for any kind of a tech problem. He used to solve it for me, and a lot of people around. But the problem is, with time, as he started getting more and more people asking him things, he started getting overconfident, and then he became really rude. And at one point, he got very isolated. People just completely ignore him. He was not getting projects, anything else, right? And that is something which actually affects your morale when you work in a corporate environment, especially. If you work as a freelancer, it's fine. You just sit on your laptop, do a thing, that's it. All you have to do is just get on a call with client, somehow handle them, that's it. But when you work in a team environment, having soft skills is what will make a difference between a good engineer and the best engineer. Because you might come in at a fresher level where you will be working alone, just getting requirements and all that. But with time, as you grow, you're gonna have people under you, because you're gonna have more responsibilities, and you have to have more people around you. And the only way to have a healthy environment and keep things proper is by having proper soft skills. The very basic example that Harshit mentioned, why are we doing this? It actually makes a lot of difference. I mean, instead of just blaming the person, you are saying that, hey, maybe there's a scope for improvement. Maybe we can together solve this, right? And that builds some kind of a synergy between you and your teammates. I mean, just consider an example of a college project. There have been times where we take 5 people, we start with a lot of passion, and then by the end of the projects, there are only 2 guys working on the project, others are gone, right? And at the end of the project, they just come in to take the credit, right? It happens, right? And then you start having fights, disengagements, and a lot of things. But if you can just communicate it better, you can understand what are they good at, and you can communicate it with them. Maybe they can help you out. Maybe they're not good at tech, but they can resolve other things for you, right? So those things can really help you out. And even while giving interviews, so one of the, I can say, pros or maybe cons of working in a startup environment is I had to do a lot of things myself. I Even as a fresher, I had to take interviews of interns, right? And that's when I figured out that all this kind of a nervousness that you get as a guy who's giving the interview, right? The same kind of nervousness is felt by the interviewer, because you have to really squeeze out answers from them. You have to be really patient when they're committing mistakes. You can see them committing mistakes, and you see that, hey, this can be done like this, but you can't be rude to them, because you just say something and then they lose the entire motivation. They might be a good guy, very talented, but they will screw up the interview, and you may lose chance on a very potential candidate also, right? So having soft skills and communicating things in a calmer way will help you go a long way also. So that's my point.
Thank you. So for me, like if I think properly, okay, how like I'm not good in any of the soft skills or the writing skills. Like to be honest, whenever I write an answer in the Teams or the Slack or wherever, if I wanted to respond, what I will tell them, like, okay, can we talk? Rather than responding. But in the corporate, you need to write the messages, emails, and all. What I do, like, basically use the grammar, like there is a Grammarly and all. Like I figure it out the mistakes and all. But other than that, what you can do? Like, anyone have any suggestion? What I want to say? Like, do you know like how you can improve? it's a very quick thing.
Nowadays, I use ChatGPT.
Okay, leave it. So, okay, I'll give you the answer. Like feedbacks. Okay, literally feedbacks. So whenever you are somewhere you are writing a message or doing something, correct? Like whenever I have a one-on-one with my manager, or if I say something or promising anything to my friends, okay, if I'm writing to the something over the LinkedIn, not to the post and all, I do not do the post over the LinkedIn, but a one-on-one messages. I always say like if there will be any mistake from my end, grammar, please correct it out. And actually people do it. Like some people do it. It's not everyone do it. Some people do it, and that's will you see the scope of improvement. And second thing, what you need to figure it out, like what is your strong soft skills and what is your weak points, correct? And figure it out within your team or within your friend circle who is having those particular skills which you don't have. Okay, utilize them. Okay, brutally utilize them. Okay, so what I will do, like even when I'm trying to write an email, I call one of my colleague and I will say like, okay boss, this is I have written, could you please review it out? And he give me a feedback, like before sending itself he give me a feedback. So then you will figure it out, yeah boss, there is a mistake in something and this is not something which is understandable. So for me, like everything comes around the surrounding. Whenever I try to learn, like I try to learn from the people. I'm not a person who can read books, who can watch the videos all, but I learn from the surroundings. So that's what like I get the feedback. And yeah, nervousness and all is a sign of a like you know the things and you wanted to prove yourself. That is everywhere. So don't worry about it. Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, to coming to the soft skills, I would like to mention 4 to 5 things. First thing, you have to be a good team player because you will be work in a team. So what do you mean by team player? So that means you have, let's say you are working in a project, and somebody wants like need your help, then you have also priority task as well. So how you will manage these things? So in this type of situations, you have to parallelly, you have to do your job as well as you have to mentor those, like whoever needs your mentor, you have to mentor those. So be a good team player. And as Harshit mentioned, that you have to good in team collaboration as well, because you will be in your company, in your organization, you are not working in one team. You have to connect with other teams as well, cross functional teams, you have to work with other teams. So and the second thing is the team collaboration. And the third thing is the time management. How, why it is need actually, because you are working on not only one task in your organization. Okay, so you have, if you are in 2 to 3 projects, or if you have in one project as well, you have to deliver the project before the deadlines as well. So prioritize the task, decide which need to be do right now according to the priority, take those tasks and complete those tasks fast. Even I will say, if there are 2 tasks and one, let's say some task is taking 1 hour to deploy or 1 hour to build, then at that time don't sit ideally, jump for the next task. So this is your I will say, put your mind that you have to prioritize the task according to the stakeholders priorities or according to your project, and complete those tasks before deadline. So that is one thing. The time management is also most required. And another thing is the communication skills, or you can say presentation skills. Because okay, you are a very good developer. Okay, you developed a lot of projects, developed a lot of features and everything. But what if I say that you do all the hard work, but you can't present your work in front of the team or in front of the stakeholders? So that's a negative impact or for your career. So be good in communication skills. If you present something, be confident, be prepare before presentation, what are the type of questions they will ask. So if I'm saying something right now, so what are the questions, like how, what, why, this type of basic questions that should you, it's at least you should prepare before presentations. So yes, communications another thing, and presentation skills. And another point is leadership skills. Leadership skills, why it is important? Even if, okay, if you are in tech lead or something, like if you are leading a 2 to 3 intern or something like that, then leadership skills is very important, because how you guide them, how you will mentor them, that's more important. If you mentor in a not in a good way, then that will be a very that will not be a very good impact for their life, for their career. So yeah, leadership skills is so very one of the most important soft skills you need. Even if you are not in a leadership role, be initiative, be uh, like it's like you have 2 to 3 tasks. There is a bug in the production. Take this bug initiative and to take 1 or 2 intern under mentor them and guide them how to fix those, and end to end what is it, like end to end deliver, do end to end deliver as well as a leader. And always why okay, if something break, be as a leader, always be ready for taking the responsibilities. This failure is because of me, like this. So one thing is leadership skills, and yes, so no doubt we're human beings, so mistakes will be there. But I'll always say that learn from your mistakes. Don't be sad for those mistakes. Yep, this will be my input. Thank you.
All right, so the point that I could summarize is team play is the most important thing. Everybody's mentioned when you're working in a company. Apart be calm, as you mentioned, that's very important. And I really like this point Abhishek mentioned. Uh, when I joined a software company, I was coming from Firozabad, a tier 3 city, right? And everybody in that company was either from Hyderabad. The company was in Hyderabad, so people from Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore, metro cities. And my English was really very poor when I was. And what used to happen, I don't know how things work in the tech now, but I had to update on the tickets, like what we have done, what we are doing, what is the update on the ticket. And I was told that I need to regularly update what is happening in this project. And I was very nervous when I used to update those tickets. And I was like, I used to ask manager, "Yaar, you please write it for me. And I've written this, please see if it is grammatically correct or not." And I think one thing that I feel that I made a mistake was we should not fear that much. Like Abhishek said, right? If it is even grammatically incorrect, write it. I mean, take the feedback after it. The feedback point also that he mentioned, you should take the feedback. And you're a tech guy, you're not an English guy, right? So write, and you are in India, right? So it's fine if you write something wrong English. Somebody in US watches it and sees it and can correct it, then it's fine. So don't fear too much and do your work and then take the feedback. All right, so that is all from the panel side. We are going to open this for the questions. So audience, if you have any question, please feel free to ask.
We can just stand and ask you. Give him the mic on the street, and you can just ask for doubt here.
Yeah, it's audible here.
Yeah,
You can ask.
you can.
Yeah, hi. My name is Siddhant Raj Mishra. I work as an automation engineer. So automation engineer, not in the literal sense like you have to do testing and all the things, because you have to commit manual things. So you are an automation engineer. It's like that. So I have few questions, but I will ask only just two in a very simpler way. So as the communication and soft skills things were going on, so I was checking the data long time back. So India was very good in soft skill and communication skill back in 2007, and it became very much less in the year 2022 and 2023 because of dependability on many things. Like they talked about Grammarly, AI, and things like that. When you start typing anything, it will correct you automatically, or else it will give you a suggestion, red line to correct yourself and things like that. Yeah, soft skills matters a lot. And I want to ask a question that in which field we should master ourselves? Because when you say growth in terms of what? Growth in terms of career. Let's say I see, okay, if I learn this technologies, let's say 5 technologies, so I have a career growth. So when we say career growth, most of the times we say about our, I mean, we look at our salary, we look at our slips. Okay, if I learn this, then this way I can grow. So what actually growth in terms of, because let's say I master, let's say a language known as Python. I have learned it. I have given my heart and soul in whatever technologies is being used, and whatever subsidiary technologies it takes for you to develop an application. Let's say to do certain things in Gen AI. So all of it I learned. But now later on, at some point of time, there will be asked that okay, you should learn HTTP, you should learn Java as well. So, are we doing the coolest thing to learn all the things so as to grow ourselves in terms of growing our career, in terms of salary and things like that, or are we really ethical in mastering ourselves in one particular part? Because what I think was, let's say there is an English teacher, an English professor, in the due course of time, he came to know that arts is not a thing, English is not a thing. So you have to learn physics and biology and botany and zoology and all the things. So whatever he has mastered is going to be a failure for him. It's going to be difficult, at least for him. So for a particular person who is an aspiring software developer or a software engineer, because I know for software SD1, SF2, you have to learn C, C++, you have to know DSA, all the things like that, because one language you should be particular with. And in the due course of time, when you come to know that that particular language is EOL, then where is your mastery? How do you focus on things? I mean, where are we getting on? Where are we going? Actually, anyone can answer.
Okay, so on this, I'll probably take my personal example. And I've worked in 3 companies till today. And at every company, the tech stack was totally different. And the reason I was able to, work there was that I knew that, hey, when I'm entering this field, I'm not a Java developer or a JavaScript developer. I cannot make money out of one technology my whole career. I can be just a software engineer. And these are basically the different tools, right? Similar thing that when people ask that, hey, in which language should I do DSA? And I just tell them, whichever language you know, right? You don't need to just be like, DSA is not language specific. So in that similar way, these technologies will keep coming and going. And what you need to be is that, hey, you are a software engineer who can actually adapt. I think most of it that we covered, right? You have to adapt to changing environment, and you will need to keep on learning. You just can't do it like, hey, I worked for 2 years, I studied all this thing, and then I can be, sitting relaxed that, hey, I will not have to, improvise, learn things. As in your career, if I just talk about technology, you'll have to keep on learning, you'll have to keep on upgrading. But then you also ask, hey, what other things that you need to do, right? So again, the coding and the development part becomes one thing, but then things like, hey, what impactful work can you do? Or how much ownership you can take, right? Can your superiors be relied that, hey, if I've given this work to you, then I can just sit back and relax. This guy will do it. If there is a delay, he'll come back to me. But if he's not talking to me, then it probably means that it's on track. Or you'll be probably proactive and give updates on that. So it's kind of a mix of that. But yeah, technology-wise, I'll say you'll have to keep on upgrading. No solution to that. Anybody else?
Okay, next question.
I'll give one. Only thing, do not give your heart and soul for any technology. I'm literally saying, do not give heart and soul to your technology. Only thing what I will say, like if you love the technology, learn it with a heart and soul. Okay, just for the fun. Okay, till the time you are learning the things, like I want to deliver the work, you are not learning actually. What you are saying, like, okay, boss, I want to learn this because I want to save my job. Okay, so if you are enjoying this, then learn from your heart and soul. Otherwise, do not do that. Just like learn it just to complete the task. Another thing, like you asked for, like how you are growing. Correct? Growth happens in the 3 terms, in my personal opinion. One is like definitely everyone wants money in their life, more and more. There is no end of the money, and I want money. Like I'm brutally saying. Okay. Second thing is like what you before money, you require knowledge, an ample amount of knowledge to prove that like I have something which can be like this particular person or this candidate don't have. That's why like I'm a more eligible candidate. And third is like some third thing which I wanted to call it out. Like you keep on saying work-life balance. That is the third thing I will listen from everyone. Please forget it. Yeah. Next question, please.
Shall we, yeah.
So actually, I'm second year engineer, and actually I'm more going through the computer programming. And I used to see everywhere that people used to like, if I want to take intensive and something like that, people used to say like you have to do development and something really like that. But can I get job through computer programming?
So, honestly, I have never done competitive programming in my life, and I'm not degrading it. It is a sport. There's actual competitions that are held, and people are competitive programmers by profession. So there's nothing wrong with it. Learning competitive programming helps you in, growing yourself, like growing your skills in how to handle that language better, right? That's the only thing. That's the only reason why we do competitive programming at all from the start. But when we look at in hiring or getting jobs, it's more about how can you help the guy resolve a problem. Even if you're good at DSA and you don't know web development, yes, you if you're good at DSA, you can quickly adapt to the web development or any other thing. You can learn any skill very easily. But the immediate requirement of the job is, can you build this out for me? And that's why I'm going to pay you. I'm not going to pay you on a future prospectus key. You're gonna learn it and then maybe you can build it. So I think development also plays a very important role in getting hired. And I used to do competitive programming whenever I want to upgrade my skills. I also recommend this to people who are starting up. When I was learning JavaScript, I used to do competitive programming questions on JavaScript so that I can understand the language better. But my main goal was to learn development, because when somebody asks me, what can you do for me? I'll be like, I can build this thing for you in a week or maybe something like that. So that's the main prospectus. Like for the job that you're going to, you should be the more suitable candidate for the job, right? And that's how you get hired. So I think, yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing.
So if you are doing the competitive programming, I'll like to say that please continue that, because if you are doing this competitive course, if you are solving this type of questions, that means you are like growing your problem solving skills. So somehow these problem solving skills are the very fundamentals or the very basics needs in development. So if you are good in competitive, that means you have a very good in problem solving, any type of development you will do in your like project or in your companies. There you will use that problem solving skills. Okay, so continue that competitive programming. And coming to the development is a very vital role in your career, because if you see without development, what will happen? Okay, you will adapt the development, like you will learn anything very easily, either it's a JavaScript or either it's a Python, Java, anything you can learn anything, because you know a programming language and you know how to use the data structure in a way where you will solve a problem. And basically what you do, you just create a structure where you will store the data and you will fetch in a way which will solve some problem. That is the same thing in development we do. That is the same thing development we do using a different language. Maybe that JavaScript or Java or Python or Go, Rust, anything. So keep competitive programming. Along with that, to like hiring is a process where if you go for the good product-based companies like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft, they mostly focus fast two rounds. They mostly focus on DSA, and if you are good in problem solving, then you can easily crack these questions in the first two rounds. And after that, the third round, after those rounds, they focus on the development and the projects you worked in your career, in your student, in your project, or in your previous experience, whatever you have done. So both are important. Try to manage both the things, I'd like to say.
Yeah.
Guys, in the cognizance of time, we'll right now stop the Q&A for now. And after the next panel, you guys can continue with the question. A huge round of applause for the panelists that we So let's move to the next panel. I would like to request Sandeep sir and Harshit to be here for this panel as well. And I would like to invite Rajdeep. He is working in Amazon right now. An applause for him. Mukesh, he works at JustPay. And our final panel member is Raj Mohan. He works at Indira India Private Limited.
Hi everyone again, I'm new panelist, and we are going to talk about job in this panel, and it's really something that everybody wants to talk about these days because there's a downturn, right? And we all are worried, and we are worried about AI, we are worried about layoffs and the number of jobs which are reduced. So let's talk about this. I'll begin again with you, Harshit, and I'll ask you a question. So the question is, how a person who's coming out of the college, what strategies the person should apply to get the job opportunities? What should be the right strategies for a person?
So I think, as you rightly said, the job market has changed for the worse. It's not that easy job market. If you talk about at least like 3 years back, it was a very good market. Everybody was getting that big fat packages, but the market has changed now. And at a fresher level, what I'll suggest is that, you were asking just before this that, hey, what if I do competitive programming, will I get a good offer, right? So what I would just, kind of mold it to that, instead of looking at a singular thing, right? Hey, if I do this subject or if I do one internship, you look at that as a complete package, that in those 4 years, you are building a complete package, a complete profile. And you might be just doing competitive programming and you'll get a job, maybe, but you'll want to increase your chances, right? So what I'll say is that try to do a lot of things in terms of, let's say you do a couple of internships. So you have a good real experience under your belt, which you can, actually flaunt on your resume, where you can talk about it in your, especially the hiring managers around, you can actually talk about your internship experiences. Then you have DSA skills. DSA is bread and butter. That is not going away. You'll have to be good at DSA. Most of the companies today still ask DSA at least in 1 or 2 rounds in their interview process. Then, building some projects, not the normal to-do list kind of projects, but something apart from that, where you can actually show some skills that, hey, you thought about this idea, or maybe even if you're creating some, clones, let's say a WhatsApp clone, but then build some features which are a little bit different than what WhatsApp offers, right? So kind of in your 4 years, try to build that kind of a package, and whatever more you can put in that package, I think that increases your odds of, your resume getting shortlisted, and then you getting that, that all in the interview process, you clearing those, that kind of improves because you have done a lot of things in your 4 years of undergrad.
All right, so since we are running short of time and we couldn't cover a lot of questions from the audience, so I'll try to cover my questions as soon as possible. And what I'll do is I'll ask one question to every panelist, and if panelist wants to add anything about the previous question that Harshit has already answered, you can add to the previous question. So I'll move to the next question, which is, how can one differentiate himself or herself from rest of the crowd? What should be the differentiating factor, and how do I achieve it?
So firstly, I'll tell you what is economic downturn, right? Downturn means companies are facing losses. They want to cut down their expenses. Right now, how will they cut down the expenses?
reduce resources. What are resources? We are the resources. So that means there are less jobs and more people. So every job has more competition. Now, how will you stand apart? Now the question comes, what is the differentiating factor? A fun example could be writing a letter to the hiring manager as to why you are fit for the role. Suppose it's a data scientist role, right? A data engineering role. Say that, hey, I have Excel in SQL, I know Python, I know every library like NumPy, I've done these many projects, and obviously reference do help. Something like an event like this where you get a network, obviously, so many people, you can talk to them, you can get referrals. So these are the way which help you stand apart. Apart from this, what you can add on to your thing is make an amazing portfolio, market yourself the best, because let's say growing yourself in the vertical of your knowledge, everybody is doing it, right? How can you be different? Post on Instagram like he does, post on YouTube, have many videos, post content on LinkedIn. Why? So that if an interviewer or a hiring manager or even for a recruiter for that matter, like that's the early stage, if he is looking at you, you should stand apart. So apparently, in a nutshell, I would say there's a proper funnel for it. The funnel starts from step zero, getting a shot at the interview. For that, what do you need to do? You need to market yourself better. I told you the process. Step two is be prepared. Whenever you get a shot, you need to be like, hey, I am already prepared. Yeah, you can ask for extension, like, hey, I'm not prepared right now, I'm doing it for the next month. But still, you need to be prepared. DSA, as he said, it should be on the fingertips. And the third thing is succeed in all your interviews, because more the number of interviews you succeed in, more offers you have. And if you have more offers, you can negotiate better. In the end, all we want is money, right? So if you have like, I've cracked Facebook, I've cracked Meta, sorry, Amazon. So you can negotiate, okay, this is giving me a 30 lakhs package, I can ask for a 40 increment. So this is a proper funnel which you need to follow, and if you do these particular steps, I think these are differentiating factors you can stand up. And obviously, Geeks for Geeks is something which can help you for everything. Thank you.
Thank you. So apart from these points, I just want to add one more thing. If you are a fresher or working professional, what happens many times, you apply to 5 companies and you get rejection, or maybe say 10 companies, and then you feel like there's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with my resume, I didn't get a call. That's actually wrong. There are thousands of companies, lakhs of companies apply everywhere, right? I mean, why do you stick to after 10? And this is very difficult to find a match between a person and a job, right? Because every job is different location, different experience, different kind of skills required, and it's very difficult for you to find the exact match and for the company to find the exact. This is a problem for both of them. So the problem can be solved if you are available in more places. Make a profile on every job portal, apply everywhere. Even after you get 10, 100 rejections, don't feel like there's something wrong with me. Keep applying. And if you still feel like I'm not saying anything, like talk to somebody who is in sales in a company. The sales people, what they do is they try, when they do a B2B business, they talk to hundreds of clients, and one or two of those clients actually convert, right? Or maybe 5 or 10 of them convert, right? And they become persistent, they keep following, right? So you need to be like a salesperson, right? Keep applying everywhere, and be available everywhere. So my next question to you is, what is the important? He mentioned about networking, right? So what is the importance of networking in getting a job?
Hi all. So it is very important to have a link to create a network within ourselves, not only within your friend circle, but also to create a network of people. Where rightly he said that posting a lot of, let's say you posted a video on some tech video and you have referred to many of your friends, and your friends has referred to many of your techies, and that's how you got a big network. Network doesn't mean that you should have a good PR. You can create PR by following many steps. So one of the method is for like creating tech videos. The second one is you can create some projects, have some Git repos, and you can share those links on those LinkedIn or probably in your social website, and through that you can market yourselves. So there are multiple ways to that. But I also want to know cover one more thing for the people who are in the college. So the 4 years how you study is not matter exactly. The 4 years how you have what you have learned out of that 4 years, and how you are applying those things on your real life is that matters a lot. And especially when we do graduation or post graduation, I would recommend to do courses for specific modules. Like say, if you want to do some specialization on, let's say, uh, data science or data engineering, other than like if you can do your courses in G4G, and also you can do some courses in like websites like EDX where they give you project first, and also companies like universities like MIT or Harvard also conduct X courses. So you can know span yourself and you can expand your knowledge, and also know have good mentorship while you do your graduation. Be in touch with some like persons who are in the IT profession or whatever profession you are going to getting into, and then be aligned with the industry. See, because our education system and the real jobs are entirely two different things. So in that way, you have to always try to be aligned with the current industry and current trends. To do that, the only thing is follow good influences, do some good projects, and while selecting your project in your graduation, also select something which is very unique. As you said, I can give my experience. So when I was doing my diploma in 1999, so they gave me a project for inventory management or library management. I said I will do wireless communication. My principal actually said, "You're not going to succeed. Why you want to do wireless communication?" And I'm a computer science student. So I did that wireless communication project, and I have successfully completed that. And when I demonstrated that project, and people were stunned because in 1999 wireless was something which we have not seen. So I'm just giving you an example. Like you have to think beyond the limits, and then only that will get you out of the box. Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. So my next question is to you is about misconceptions about jobs and in general, especially the downturn these days.
Yeah, hi. So I think this is the best question for me. First, I will like introduce myself. So myself Mukesh, and I have total 5 years of experience. So I'm someone like I am a product guy turned into a software developer. So generally, it happens like you are a software developer, and then after 5 7 years of experience, you turn up into like product management side. But for me, it's like a reverse thing. So misconceptions like so whenever you are doing some job, so if you are like a tester, right, a SDET, or if you are into some data analyst, and then when you start your career, so first when you just get out of college, right, you think the first task is to get a job. So many of us like think of becoming a software developer, then but we'll end up into like some different profiles. And after 1 or 2 years, we think that my main goal was to be a software developer. And after 1 or 2 years, we start thinking that is it possible for me to again get back into that track or not? And we start doubting ourselves that yeah, it's been already 2 years that I'm a data analyst, or I'm into a product side, or I'm a SDET, right? So people start doubting themselves. They take feedback from others, like is it possible for me? Sometimes they get correct mentors, right? Sometimes they don't get correct answers also. So for someone like me, so I was like preparing for gate after my college. So after preparing for 6 months, I got good rank, but that time Corona was there, so lockdown period was there. So I dropped off the plan of doing MTech, and then I started job in AdTech as a product analyst. And then after 1 year, I was like into product management more. So after working for 2 years, 2.5 years, for me it was like I was a computer science guy. I used to do competitive programming also, but my goal was always to be a software developer. So it was difficult for me at that point of time. So I started like when I completed 2 years of my job, I started at that point of time. I want to switch to software development, and I was looking for a lot of things that what should I do, from where should I learn, and that was the point of time when I joined Geeks as an employee. And there, I joined Geeks as a Gate content manager, and then there I explored a lot of courses also, and that was an opportunity for me also to learn from the platform which generates a lot of developers. So if you find, like if you look if you search any content, you will find it on Geeks for Geeks. So that was an opportunity for me, and I was like, okay, I'm into Geeks for Geeks. I'm at the platform which provides like a lot of software developers. So I started learning, and I prepared at that point of time. I got some opportunities, and I met some great like competitive programmers at GfG. And again, Sandeep sir was there. Then I met a lot of people there, and then from there I started learning the software developer thing, like courses and all those things, competitive programming, that system design things. And then I cracked some like 3-4 interviews at that point of time, and just was the best that suited me. And after that, like working for 2.5 years into product management, I shifted to software development. So yeah, it's never like impossible or never like difficult to switch into software development. So people sometimes after getting out from college, they prepare for government jobs for 1 year, 2 years. Then after not getting successful or not getting the correct, after not cracking the exam, they start thinking that what should I do now? But software developer, this programming side is one thing that you can start at any point of time in your life. I have seen people who have who have given their 4 years of time preparing for government exams, and then after that they have started as a software developer, and they have got good packages also. So this is something when you can start at any point of time, even if you are like a data analyst or a automation engineer, and if you want to be a software developer, it just takes like hardly 3 to 6 months that you start preparing. And again, like in the previous panel discussion, one question was asked that there are so many tags, so many things every day coming, going. What all things should I be like mastered in? So I will say it's like mostly companies look for your problem solving skills. So generally, no one cares about programming language. In JustPay, when I joined, it's like Haskell is the programming language. I think most of you might have not even heard about this thing, Haskell, right? So this is the programming language. And this when I got interviewed for JustPay, they didn't ask anything related to Haskell. There was this competitive programming round, hackathons were there, then system design rounds were there. So it's all about your approach, all about your problem solving skills. So it's not about what tech you are mastering into. So it's simply, and then when you get into some company, then you work for 1 year or 2 year, then you get to learn about a lot of systems. Then you don't have to master anything. If you are having little knowledge of some systems, some things, like I am working on some project, I have good knowledge of that project. But like in previous round, Harshit has mentioned that learn from your colleagues. Yes, this is a very good thing, and this is very important because you cannot work on all the projects. So have friends, have colleagues. When you are like sitting with them for lunch or anything, just learn from them. In college also, if someone like is doing competitive programming, or someone is very good at competitive programming, or someone is very good at development side. So some people do development, some people do competitive programming, and some are very confused. What should I do? Because nowadays, if you see any company's hiring process, it's very different company to company. Some companies ask you to completely automate an API. Some startups ask you to completely write a full project for them. So there are hiring processes are very different. So you'll have to be like very specific that what are your targets, like top 5 companies, top 10 companies, or these are the companies that I'm looking for, and then accordingly prepare for that. And about the misconception, I will just say one thing, that it's never too late to be like, if you want to become a software developer, if you want to get into software developer field, then it's never late. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. So my next question is to all of you. Is any personal examples or observations where you yourself, overcame the problem of downturn, the job market, and the way you handled it? So I'll be just going out for a minute. I'll be back in a minute, and I would like you guys to cover this question while I'm out.
Sure. So, I mean, I'll just again give a personal example, and I think I've covered it barely in my previous answers. But when I was trying to switch from my first company, like doing my first switch, right, I was working in a technology which wasn't used outside. And what I had to literally do is like, I was not getting calls, and my resume was like, I had 4 years of experience in a product company, and I'm not getting calls. And I'm like, what is happening, right? And then I figured out that, hey, this technology is the culprit. My experience is not becoming relevant for the other companies. So what I did literally is I took a 2 weeks off. I bought a Udemy course again for the price of a visa, and I just did it from start to end. I finished that course. It was a React course, and next week again I was off. I just built out some projects, added into my resume, and that kind of just changed the game for me. Like at least now I was getting calls. At least people, because that's how the HRs look, right? They look at a resume and they see, okay, we are looking for people who have worked on this technology. So my resume was able to shortlist from that stage. And then from that point on, I was able to, I was strong with JavaScript, so I was able to work around the other rounds. But I think something that I had to do at that time is switch technologies and switch it very, very fast.
Okay, so I'll tell you an example. Imagine you're going to a fun fair and you've seen a game where you have a gun and there are tons of balloons over there. Imagine there are tons of balloons and you have just a shot over there and you close your eyes. There are chances that you will shoot at least one balloon, right? Now, what if there's just a single balloon? Even if your eyes are open, you're able to aim at it properly, there are chances you'll miss it, right? Same analogy applies over here. You need to keep on applying. Keep it a task that you need to apply at least for 100 jobs a day. So that, and you need to be prepared. So once you are up in that state that you have an interview, you will excel that. So that, when will that happen? When you're prepared. Now I'll tell you my example. When I was, I wanted to get into a new job. Okay, so I was applying everywhere. I was getting calls. I was giving interviews. With the offer that I was getting, I was not happy with that. I was not satisfied because what I was expecting, honestly speaking, I'll give you a personal experience. My brother, he works at Amazon in Seattle, so he's earning in like crores and crores. So I was nowhere close to him. Now I applied for different companies. Now, when I applied for Amazon, I was getting rejected. Why? Because I was applying for SG role. Now, one fine day, I got this nice post on LinkedIn where it said developers required for Fire TV. It was for Amazon. So that's when I applied. So I applied for Amazon for 1 year. I never got a call back from them. But the day I applied, the next day I got a call from recruiter. Why? Because my portfolio, I had been an Android developer and an iOS developer. So my skills matched. And luckily, since I was prepared with my DSA, I gave my interviews. Though that entire zone took like 3 months because they have a very slow process of giving interviews. Like after one interview, they'll keep like a 1 week off. So my point to you is be prepared, keep random shots, have referrals, and keep applying for jobs. And don't just settle for something that next year you might want to change it again, right? So keep it a goal that the company that you're planning right now, you'll be happy working over there. I won't quantify that years to be like 5 or 10, but at least you should be satisfied. It should not be, okay, let's say the amount is, let's say 15 lakhs. I'm just putting a random number. If you get 15 lakhs, maybe it might happen next year. You'll see your friends are getting 20 and you again want to switch. This way, what is happening in your resume, you're putting more number of companies. I don't say that is bad, but you're not being loyal to someone. So keep a goal in mind and prepare, work hard. Trust me, working hard has no substitute. Yeah, all you can do is be smarter while working hard. And yeah, trust me, you'll succeed.
Thank you. Anybody else wants to add?
So, to be honest, corporate world is very brutal. Seriously, because nowadays it's not about getting job. It's about like what you have got, like you want to be into that. So whenever you are at like in corporate world, if you are working also now, so there also you'll have to be like there is a race there also. So nowadays like companies will ask you to automate things and then they will fire you. So like recently I heard about this thing in like Tesla. They automated one feature and then they fired like 1,000 people. So it's like in every company, they want the features to be automated because they want the tickets and all those things every day, like new requests and new things coming up, new requests from other teams. So they want most of the things to be automated, and then at the end they don't need the team. So, like recently happened, Google fired the complete Python team, right? Literally, Chat GPT can write anything in Python. It's just about the correct instructions, correct rules that you want what you want to write. So yeah, it's all about updating yourself, upskilling yourself. If you are like at a company also, you'll have to get knowledge of other projects also. So what I do personally is like, if I am working on some project, but my friend is working on some other project, I try to get that knowledge. So my what I am currently working on like most on business side, business logic side. But what my friend is working on is like on data engineering side. So he's working on projects like EC2, right, and AWS side and everything like this side. So what I do generally, I take all the updates or what is going on, what project is there. So I generally take all those things from him. So it's like always updating yourself, and you never know like these downturns in any company whenever it's going to come. So it's always about like upskill yourself. So like by personally telling, like I always have some course in back of my like list which I keep following, some course or some books that I keep on following. Maybe like I'm not planning to switch now, but I always keep something that yeah, I will keep on preparing the DSA course or something, like at least like some system design things or something. At least there is always something in my backup. So yeah, you should have to keep backups there, because you don't know whenever, like when a company announces these things.
Okay, my experience is a bit different. I have around total 22 years of experience in IT infrastructure managed services. Out of that, 11 years as I have served as an entrepreneur in IT infrastructure managed services, and I have seen downfalls, very bad downfalls. Uh, I have been gone down to bankruptcy, and my company is almost closed down. So situations occur in life. Post that, I joined in a company. Post that, I joined in a company, and after 3 years, again I got laid off. So things will happen. These things are nowadays it's become very common. So the one thing which I would always say is keep on working on the latest technologies. So I am from infra, so I'm not be a good person on the coding side, but still from my infrastructure experience, what I have, uh, I hated codes, and now I'm writing codes in Python and Terraform. So life no changes a lot, but I think we all should be prepared for that. That's one thing. And second thing, for the people who are experienced, I just like to share one thing. See, when such things happen, this is not about technology, but also I should always say manage your finances very well from the day one. This thing can strike you at any point of time. The finances would help you when these things go, because when I was got laid off for 3 months, I was almost gone crazy, because the day I got the notice, I was first thought, what should I do for my housing EMI? That was the first thing which came into my mind. It's with every experienced person who is around 35, 40, everyone has it. So for that sake, I would always say, like he rightly said, work on projects, work on latest technologies, not just your day-to-day work which you do in your office. Also do some small projects of your own and try to think what you can do differently for the same. For example, I got a small scenario where we have been monitoring a lot of someone who is there in development, they can understand applications and all. So we have been monitoring some application, and that application was going heaven, going crazy on Saturday evening 5 p.m. I don't know what's happening. 5 to 6 it goes crazy, and we are been fighting with developers what you have done, and we have also almost weeks and weeks we have sat every Saturday 5 p.m. that that particular application will crack, and we are almost like next time it crashes we will lose our job. So we sat on the fire and then we started diagnosing. So from the developer side, I just ignored everything, and then my team sat and say, let's watch each and every step what we missed. And like almost after 48 hours without food and water, we found out that there is a problem in the hard disk where it's trying to write some log file. And because of that, it's not able to write, and it's the software getting crazy. And we were like, we don't know what to do now because we can't give an RCA to a client that there is some corruption, block corruption in the hard drive. So we made some story and then we somehow we fixed it. But these things come, these things change your life. And always, whenever you do on any task or any work, for example, you do some module and you got some problem and you resolved it, keep a record of it within yourself. Document it, because see, whenever something happens like that, nowadays interviewer asks you questions on scenario basis. They give you a problem. Now they see how analytically you can fix those issues. What is the experience you have? Or even if you are a fresher, how deep you can go to try to fix that issue. So always what I say is, beyond, if you are a college goer, try to do some small projects and keep in your repos. If you are an experienced person, try to do focus more on automation, scripting, and get some projects. Keep it ready. And then while doing the interview, one of our interview asked me to share my Git repo, and they also even told me to write a Terraform to build a stack, and I did that, and that's how I got the new job also. So, so I would say it's you have to keep on learning, and then you have to think differently. These things come, layoff, jobs, layoff, everything will come, and nowadays it will become very often. So don't get afraid to it, because now layoff is very common, especially for people experienced like me. We always had it. So be prepared and be positive. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very good answer, actually. It deserves a clap. Yeah. Thank you. And a lot of experience there must have helped everybody who's attending this. So that's all from the panel side, and we are open for the questions now. Please feel free to ask any question. Please, you can ask. You can go ahead and ask. It's audible here.
Hello everyone. My name is Vaibhav. I am pursuing my third year engineering. So during the panel talk, we had a talk about how do we upskilling. So sir mentioned about Udemy courses. So I'm in a way of learning it, but I do face I'm not consistent, and I want to know from your side, as your experience, I want to know what is the way that I learn any course. Now maybe I am learning Python from Udemy. So what is a strategy or what is a roadmap that I follow? Now the person who's explains a code. Am I supposed to code at simultaneously, or am I supposed to memorize it or understand how is it? What is the course of it? Step 1, step 2, steps, so that I can become consistent. The point is, I love doing the course, but the problem I face is I'm not able to become consistent to it, because I stop at a point because things are not working. Whatever he or she has taught me, I'm not able to interpret. So I want to solve that problem. So how can that be solved with your experience? Hope I am clear with my question.
Yeah. So, I my younger brother is in final year BTech computer science only. So he also faces this problem. Whenever I tell him that do this course, do that course, he do it for doing just for sake of doing it, and then again the flow breaks. So again, it's not like someone, no one will be always on your head to tell you that keep doing, keep doing, keep doing. It's you and you only that you'll have to maintain some pace, or you'll have to maintain something if you have learned something like Python, then you'll have to maintain some GitHub. There is a lot of open source nowadays. Most of companies put their codes and a lot of things on open source. So if you are targeting at company, you start contributing to that projects. So if you like Python, you are doing. So there are some companies which is building Python-based AI things, right? Or if you have learned some Java or some other language, then try to search for open source projects and start contributing. So it will help you in development also, learning the language, and then the dev experience. Again, you can like become someone like you already know before joining that company, you already know that what's their code base. They don't put exact their code base, but they somehow like put their API, something that they want to show on the platform, open platform. So you can start contributing there. If you are really good, then identify some bugs or something, so that whenever if you get a interview call from that company, then you have already some knowledge. You can point out that thing that I have already worked on your this repo, right? On this GitHub project that you have put. So you can directly mention those things, and it is the best thing after learning a programming language, because you cannot just rely like doing this competitive programming, right? Then again it will break your pace. So if you are learning something, try to implement and try to store it in your open, make your own GitHub, right? Make your own repos and start contributing. This is the best thing that will help you.
I think we'll take the next question because there are too many questions. So I would like only one panelist to cover, and then we'll take more questions so that we can cover every question.
Yeah, actually, I had a lot of questions to ask, but I have precisely two questions. One question is how to get a specific job. Basically, when we are talking about jobs now, so everybody will have this or that. Everybody wants high package, this, that. So how to be specific, more specific, and towards our field, not like since we are developers, so we'll have every like kind of jobs. More specific, being more specific about the job. How do we get that? And one more question was, since we are talking about developing this, that, in one field which I feel is everybody is lacking is cybersecurity. I'm a third year student, and that field I have a lot of interest in that. But till date, nobody I have met who has told about it very clearly, precisely how to go about it and how to start about that. If anybody wants to tell, can share.
Thanks towards little bit inclination towards me. Sometimes I feel very alien when I sit in between developers till now. Okay, so first for cybersecurity, the first thing is you can start with know basics of network, okay, and then you can start working on network security, basics of network security that you can do in your CCNA and probably in any of the Udemy courses, okay. Then after that you can start working on your CEH, certified ethical hacking, and then you can go for some forensic investigator and all those things. So this is how the path flows. But to start with, the first thing we should learn is the networks, because the cybersecurity first it comes around the network parameters where our applications are deployed, right? So that's the first thing, because that's the physical things which are there. Second thing is the application which you develop. That has to be more secure, because nowadays development is not just about writing code. You have to think in 360-degree or kind of a multi-dimensional way. What are the aspects when someone can hack your code? So you have to do your penetration testing or all those things again and again by yourself to make sure that your software code is secure. Second thing. Third thing is all developers should have a good understanding of infrastructure. I know it's bit very far away, but that is right now it's mandatory, because in the age of cloud, now there is a very thin line between the infrastructure and developers. It's a very gray line. So, for example, DevOps, the DevOps and CloudOps are basically call it as infra guy and DevOps, they mostly call it developers. Most of the companies are merging these two into a single team. They don't want an infra and a developer separate. They want both of them to be in a single team. So that is one thing I say, you have to have a basic knowledge of infrastructure for it. For your security perspective, you have to get to network and then probably get into CEH and then penetration testing. Or then you can do a lot of your forensic investigation, also a good field where you can be a consultant also. So that's very important. And the first question, what you asked?
About job specification.
Yeah, jobs. Yeah. So, see, for example, from my side, if you ask me, see, that has to be done from your side. You have to do a self-analysis. If I want, see, if I say I want to become a developer and I don't have a developer material itself inside, I can't be a developer. I can try, right? And there might be some other skill which would get me into a better position rather than just thinking that I should be a developer, right? So that first you have to understand your skills. There are two ways to do that. One is you try to analyze yourself. Second is you can do analyze by a mentor so that he can analyze your skills and then he can tell you, okay, you are good at maybe data engineering, so you are good at do that. You or else you might be good at business development, but your thought process may be stuck at development, right? So it depends. You have to do a self-realization or you have to get analyzed by a mentor so that you can precisely narrow down which field you have to go. And then once you are focused, you are sure that you have to go to this field and this is your expertise, then you work towards that. For example, my field of expertise is infrastructure. So I am good at infrastructure. So I have now I learn all those things which is required to build an automated infrastructure. My all whatever tools I learn day by day, it's all focused towards that particular field and that particular field of expertise only. So that's how you can do it. Thank you.
Hi everyone, myself Usman. I'm a teacher and entrepreneur. Since last 20 years, I've been teaching for English students, finance and marketing. So my question is to Sandeep sir. There are a lot of edtech firms who have mushroomed now. And rightly said, Harish said, okay, 500 rupees we can just get a pizza. And I strongly agree with Abhishek that if you want to have 1 lakh or above package, then you have to work hard. So upskilling is that thing which everyone wants to do. And today everyone are here to get that same thing. At the end of the day, money matters to everyone. So how this 500 rupees pizza thing, knowledge is very great. But if everyone have done the same thing, then everyone have got the DS and everything for 500 rupees. So how Geeks and Geeks is adding value to everyone, and how it is different. So why one should opt Geeks and Geeks?
See, when you talk about tech courses, the kind of courses that we provide, we have like, for example, if I take an example of DSS Helpdesk course, which I built myself, I recorded. So in that course, we have all the videos starting from fundamentals to end recorded by myself. Then we have quizzes, MCQs. Then we have coding practice questions, which if you look at any of the platform like Udemy, you won't find basically. But this video recorded, right? You have practice questions where you can practice the questions, and these questions are tagged by companies. So if I go to a particular question and I see that this question was asked in these companies, and I can practice accordingly. Plus, there are contests which happen to evaluate yourself. And about live courses and the offline courses, you talked about consistency, right? The consistency is an issue that we were also facing, that people come to first few classes and they drop with the time, right? So for that, we started this 390 challenge, just to motivate people. कि अगर आप classes में आ रहे हो, then you will return your 90% of the money. Because plus, apart from all these things, whether it is Geeks or Geeks or any other tech, it all depends upon the candidate. No company can guarantee you a job. Even if you pay 10 lakh rupees, 20 lakh rupees, no company can guarantee you will have to do the work. That's a fact, actually. Even if a company says that I'll give you job guarantee, I'll give you that, I don't believe in that, actually. It's like you will have to ultimately deliver, you will have to give the interview. So it all depends upon the candidates as well. They many times join a course and after some time they stop coming to the classes. But all we could do from our side that if you come to classes, we give you 90% refund. We'll give you more perks, like there'll be a one-to-one mock interview and all those incentives we added if people come to classes. And we're thinking of more ideas to make people consistent, because it's definitely an issue.
Completion rate is very low.
Yeah, that's an issue. And with 390, we have seen a very, very good growth in that. I mean, our courses consumption has grown up like anything, although it's not still perfect. I mean, we're still working on further motivations. I got some ideas from Abhishek also. So we're still working on further motivations to further improve the consistency and the completion rate.
So just to add one thing, so what makes Geeks4Geeks unique is like they have this thing, teaching assistance. So when you have done some courses, right? If you are like enrolled in some course, they provide you this teaching assistance. So what happens is you have uploaded your question, and then they will kind of try to reply within 24 hours. Whatever the like it's a code related thing or something like but like for related to any of the courses. And you will not find it in platform like Udemy or any other platform. Because I remember while I was working for Geeks, I remember personally leading that team, and we have seen that like how like we respond to those queries, those questions, and it's not just about one solution. It's about like sometimes getting on the call also to explain the solution. So yeah, this is one thing that I feel that is unique about GfG courses.
I want to ask one question. I think I'm a little different from these people because they are either passing out or they are, right now studying and all. So I fall little into his category. My work ex is close to 19 years. I'll be completing 19 years of work experience, and I have faced the challenges, whatever everybody has discussed here. So layoff, I have been facing like twice or thrice. So I was able to get a job sometimes like within 15 days. And right now also I'm facing the same situation. And the reason for the layoffs have always been different. Sometimes we always say, just keep on working and hold your job and all. So almost 15 or 16, 17 years back, I was working on one like Java. I started with Java and all. And later on, I was shifted to one technology, which was Adobe Flex technology. So suddenly, it was like a shift from HTML and all to a single page application and all. And it was a boom for 4 or 5 years, Adobe Flex technology, and suddenly it vanished. So, but I was, I had moved on to that technology, and 20 years back, our world was not fast that we have to, keep on upgrading ourselves every single minute the way we are doing right now. So, because we started with, in our classes, we used to learn like 5 minutes or 10 minutes it used to take, for systems to boot up. So, now my question is, I've faced almost many things, whatever we had discussed here. With this much of experience, even if we do the course, even if we do a small POC and all, usually we'll be able to do the courses, but we'll not be able to grasp the jobs. Even if we do some 20 courses, like I have been doing it, I've tried to do one generative AI basic introductory course. Then I moved on to some graph database new course. I did some 2-3 this thing courses, some introduction, so that I get the breadth of the things right now what is going on in the market. Because in between that work-life balance, he said, forget it. So I was trying to maintain that work-life balance because we have some natural calamities like marriage and childbirth and all these things happening to us. And natural calamities. And we just cannot do anything about it, right? So these are the things we have to sail through. And then COVID happened, right? So most of the people, they had severe, different challenges people would have faced. So some things are not in our control, and some things we just have to, adapt, and we have to, gracefully accept our situation. So right now, I am facing that challenge that even if in my company, the challenge was like, I was compared to the people who were like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, or 6 years experience, and their learning acumen was too fast. They were either not married, or if they were married, mostly of them guys, so their wives were not married, working, so they did not have to enter the kitchen and all. So those kind of some diversity kind of challenges I'm talking about here right now. So I have faced those things. So how can I deal with those things, and how do I sail through this situation which I'm doing right now?
I just got through that phase very recently. So yeah, so you are exactly you're 100% true. It is very difficult for very experienced people to get a job as of now, especially who are 15 plus. We are the least wanted people in the industry as of now. That's a fact.
I agree.
Okay. Now, why this has happened is there are two things. One, in my case, I'll tell you, it's my mistake. I was very lethargic and very lazy on learning technologies at one point of time. That that time we have been comfortable with certain technologies, and that was going very good for a very long time, and we never changed according to the time. That's one big mistake. Two, in India, we have a perception that people who are having 15 plus of years of experience should be a project manager or should be a group manager or at least a tech lead, something which is managerial kind of thing people are looking into. Now, today's hard truth is a project manager should also know the technicality of what the people are doing in your team, and he should also be able to contribute technically with the team also. So you should not only be a people's manager, but also you should be a tech uh, kind of a tech freak also. So how I got a job is I have used my entrepreneurship skills, or I have just learned some leadership skills, some process-oriented programs I have, and those I have blended my technical knowledge also. So you have almost 19 years of experience. You have handled various teams, right?
No, no, I am completely into technical. I never got into that project management or this kind of only maybe little bit of
Then,
science from it all.
then I think slowly you should move towards that.
I was trying to, but I was not getting that career.
Yeah, it will happen. See, what I will do is what you can do is you can just start learning some courses in probably as I said EDX for management. Okay, so they will give you some certificate from the bigger universities that you can showcase in your LinkedIn for your management skills. That's one. You can do some Six Sigma or some PMP kind of PMP. It won't be possible for you because you are not into some project management as of now, but some management related courses at least you can do and start try to think about some leadership, little leadership in your team itself, like probably a team lead, or probably you can try to focus towards start towards that. Because people, I was an individual contributor for almost 12 years, and I never been a leader. I didn't even know that I can be a good leader. I was a good entrepreneur. I thought I was a good entrepreneur because my technical skills are very good and I'm a good salesman. But I don't know I'm a good leader. I never, because I came to know because of my team. I have handled, I started with only 4 members team, and they gave me 4 people. Said, these are the team members. These, they were like college passport people, and I was almost like 40 years old. So how there's a big gap between, and I handled that. So that's how I started building my leadership skills, and I blended my technical knowledge into those while I'm mentoring those my team members. So it started. People started looking me as a tech leader kind of thing. So now I'm probably I'm as an engineering manager or TAM for a current project where I do solutioning. Also, I also manage team. So both are there. So people who are having 15 plus of experience or 16 plus of experience, first thing is be kind of a technical manager, kind of both, blend you should have, or else you should be kind of an architect where you have a good amount of knowledge in doing designing work. So that way you can have a good scope on like not only AWS but as well as Azure or some other platforms also. Thank you.
I think that's a very good answer to the question.
We take a few more, then we'll end the session. 2 or 3 more.
Yeah,
Please go ahead.
so I'm a first year engineering student, and as someone like with zero experience in related to coding and all this while you're preparing for entrance, if I'm preparing for board exams, I noticed there's a huge gap between what is expected of career oriented education and what we've been doing all this while. Like even in college, I'm studying like basic C and Python, but I don't think it is as much as what is required towards getting a job or something career related. I mean, there's a lot of information if you go out like related. People are saying you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. You keep hearing a lot of words, but as I don't know anything, all this while I was saying I'm not interested in computer science, but then you realize you have no other option. So now I'm kind of being forced to look into it, but I don't know where to start and what to do. People are giving options, but I don't know how to select what should I exactly do right now. So
Just one question. You're confused for what? Is it like inside computer science
No, like-
domain or like any
just to
domain?
get started with walking towards doing something related to
Okay, you're in first year. Which what degree? What degree are you pursuing?
information
information science. Okay, so first thing I'll say, hoping for a job 4 years from now, right? First thing, just keep in mind, honesty is the best policy. Any company hiring you, if they know you're from a college, they know you don't have proper experience. You have only taken internships. So keep honesty on the papers. You should not lie on the papers. Number two, start exploring. This is the time to explore and experiment. Okay, you have things on the table. Nobody can tell you that, hey, imagine I come and tell you that please go and start singing. You're not good at singing, right? Maybe you're good at dancing. So it's you who need to explore and find which you're good at. For example, if I talk about specifically software developers, the first when I was doing engineering at first year, like my options were, let's get into web development or mobile development because these were hot two topics. I started with web development, that didn't excite me. When I went to mobile development, yeah, that was something exciting for me because everybody had their phone in their hand. I was making apps, I was giving it to my friends. So maybe that same factor was there, but in the end, I was excited. So you need to pursue and find what is exciting for you. And trust me, 4 years, you will succeed. If you have that passion from this age, you will succeed. Okay.
Well, at least something to start with that you can start looking into this thing. If you're interested in it.
Sure.
So for the first year, second year student, they should not be here. Okay. Honestly, like this is not meant for you guys. Okay. First of all, you need to understand how to enjoy the life. Okay, because corporate world is something where you come into and then start. You are thinking of a 4 years ahead. Have you seen the next day what is going to happen tomorrow? No. Okay, so this is not the right place. Second thing, like thinking of a career perspective and how to get into the gist of how to get into the programs, you have a lot of, rather than asking me, you and these people are the experienced people. The people who are sitting behind, those are the experienced people. You ask your fourth year students people. Okay, ask them what is their preparation strategy, why they become like placed into the this and this company today. Do not ask the failures like me. Like I started my job after dropping off the graduation, like failed in somewhere. Like you should ask those people rather than asking the people who are already working. We are not aware about what is the present situation going on in the college. Do you know? Like you only know the fourth year student know. So you should ask these questions to them. Okay, what you can ask, like what you can expect from here rather than like, okay, what is going in the market that you can expect, that knowledge you can carry and go away. That's it. That is more helpful for the first year and the second year student. I'm pretty much not sure like why they are spending their weekend here. Yeah, thank you.
So basically, I had the same dilemma when I was in first year, and what he said is accurate, 100% accurate. You should not worry about jobs. What you should worry about is how I want to shape my career and what do I want to do. So when I started out, I actually I explored everything. I did mobile development, I did web development, I kept doing DSA alongside so that I can grow fast in these fields. I did AI, I did blockchain, and I ended up becoming just a software engineer, right? So it's about exploring everything. I even did game designing. I even started designing posters. I did video editing. So I did anything I could just to learn, explore, and assess myself as to where does my interest lie. So I think that's the best thing that you can do. Explore anything, everything, whatever you want to do, and then decide, is this field, what are the potential of jobs in this field? Start thinking about that when you're in your fourth year. But right now, just explore. And I can guarantee you, by the time you reach your fourth year, you'll have so much skill set to show on your resume that companies will just line up to actually interview you. That happened with me. I started out in my first year exploring everything. By the time I reached my second, third year, I was actually doing freelancing, right? So the key is to just keep exploring, just make projects for fun. Pick up any project you want to make something, you like some project, you got an idea, just work on it, just figure it out somehow. Even if you make a broken project, it's still fine. You are still way ahead than I think 90% of the people in your class, right? So that's the key.
I'll be short. I'll not take long time. So I hated this computer science and I joined college. Like, that's a fact. I want to become a civil engineer. My father I did my diploma in after completing my 10th. So my 10th score was 48 percentage, and my pre-board max score was 7 out of 100. So my dad was very afraid of me that if he joins mechanical or civil engineering, there are a lot of mathematics. He should go with computer science. He doesn't know that maths is going to come for 3 years. And at last, ending up in doing computer science, I was first year was really gone like so speedily. I don't know when it started and when it completed. So I started realizing now I got this field right. I have to figure out which field is going to work in this specific field. So I started, working on development. I started, developing codes on C++. That time we had some basic programming. So we used to build some rockets in that basic programming and it to run on computers. So my interest was not in that side. So I started learning. I have my interest on hardware, taking through drivers, fixing it, and those things. So I moved towards that. So that's why I correctly said you have to figure out by yourself by doing multiple things, and then you select which one is attracting you so much, where you have the total interest focus, and then start to drive your career according to that.
I can also help a bit. I visit a lot of colleges and get these questions. So there are, if you purely look from job perspective, what he has said is perfect answer. I mean, you should explore everything. He also added to that. But if you look from jobs perspective, there are certain things which have been asked in computer science from 2009, 2007, when I gave interviews to 2024, which is data structures and algorithms. So you can basically work upon that if you really are concerned about the job after 3 years. And there are certain other subjects, object-oriented programming, DBMS, which might not be taught in the first year, but DSA and programming, that is something you can start on the first year itself, which is going to, because longer you practice, higher are the chances, and these are going to be like fundamentals. वो कितना भी AI आ जाए, कुछ भी आ जाए, people will keep asking DSA. They've been asking it.
Yeah, last question. Yeah, my question is, it might be sort of I'm very developer, but after some time I want to move in development part because I like public skills. I have a strong public skills. I was a part of several events, okay, and I was event coordinator. So you can answer. Yeah, I want to after like 1 year and 2 years, I want to be here. I want to become developer or development part. So can you say how?
You want to be a developer.
And some question like
you want to be a developer.
Developer versus full stack in terms of criteria or groups.
Developer versus full stack. Is that like it's polar opposite?
Yeah, that I think I want to do this to this one. Like,
Toward developer, towards
what developers?
towards developer. Are you coming from a stack or like
Backend.
backend?
But I want to move in development.
See, most of the definitely in India right now is something like I think it's very better.
See, as far as I understand, develop is a different thing from development. You need to just have an idea of what development is, and develop is like building community around some product, making people aware about the product, right? So that's a different role. As you said, you have more interest in communication and all. So get knowledge about the technology, but maybe you should do some communication courses, or maybe you should do some something related to community building and all. That would be very helpful. You must be doing it already. You need to do all that basically, which can help the developer community to be aware about the new products. That would be very helpful for you.
One thing I would also add is that like whoever the people in the industry today who are into development, like you see like active right now, AWS and MongoDB is doing a great job in that. They are very active in terms of their development job. But the people who are looking after development of MongoDB or AWS, they are people who are seasoned in stacks. Like the person who is a MongoDB also, he has worked for Microsoft and Apple also before that. She was like a stack developer throughout her tenure. So to be a developer in a company, you have to have like a good experience set in terms of stack that you have gone through in a company. And most of the companies who run developers today don't directly hire developers.
you have some flaws.
The people who build inside that company have become developers. Like on any company page, you won't see vacancy as a developer.
Yeah.
People who are belonging to the stack, people who are growing in that stack, end up becoming developers.
So many guys like those with only one experience. Very less experience, but
I'll connect you with someone also.
So actually, I have a lot of DevRel friends. So I mean, I will just nudge you that just think that do you want to go into DevRel or do you want to go into pure sales or marketing? I mean, just think about it that if you are going into DevRel to run away from programming, DevRel is not the place. DevRel is not that hey, you instead of writing code, you are gonna be just doing sales and marketing. No, that is a different profile. As part of DevRel, you will be expected not just to write blogs or build communities, but as you rightly mentioned, Aditya Oberoi, right? He also takes sessions, right? Which take sessions and you have to deeply understand the technology and you have to do the coding. So it is like you need to be the programmer and then you also need to market it in a way. So it is a mixed kind of a profile. Yeah, so I'll say just, do some introspection, and if you are really into it, as you rightly mentioned, start with development, do development for some years, and then probably you can get into a company like, let's say, Postman, right? They create that, they have a tool which Postman tool, right? Everybody uses. So you can be a developer for that kind of a product, but you need to understand that product in and out, and you need to be able to, be very close and understand that pain points of the developer. Otherwise, DevRel is not that.
Oh, all right, guys. So that's the end of the session. Thanks for joining. Really sorry we can't take more questions. We're running out of time, and we'll be here for some time so we can network outside this. And let's end the session. Great talking to you, everybody. Great questions, and thank you all the panelists. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.